Okay, today, ladies, we have the pleasure of inviting our speaker, Nancy Wright, who is a master certified health coach through the Dr. Sears Wellness Institute. She has 3 decades of a wellness background in sales and health coaching. Nancy helps people with special needs eat delicious rainbow foods to overcome gut and metabolic issues. She also educates communities through a company called Hello Health, and she sells her workshop programs to nonprofits and other private entities. When her daughter was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder at age 3, she got certified to become a master certified health coach. Now her daughter eats the rainbow foods and she is college bound. Let's welcome Nancy.
Hi, everyone. Hello. I don't know if you can see me.
Yes,
You can, and you can see my screen.
yes,
All right. Well, first of all, big shout out, Susie. Thank you for the introduction. And Dr. Angeline, as you all know, if you know her well, she's the most organized person I know. And she was so great in sending out these reminder emails with different catchy phrases. And I appreciate you so much, Angeline. So thank you. I don't think I've ever met anybody so organized in my life. Thank you. All right. Well, hopefully you can see this. Today I'm going to talk about NDD, and so I'm going to shorten it. It's how nutrition deficit disorder. So NDD, that's what that means. How it affects your health and what you can do about it without drugs. So like a drug-free thing. All right. Let me know if we have any, let me go back here. Here it is. You can see this, right? Everybody? Give me a shout out. Yes. Somebody say yes. You're all muted, aren't you?
yes.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, great. Well, Dr. Bill, if you either know him or you don't, if you know him, you know he's a world-renowned pediatrician, and he's the author and co-author of about 43 books with his wife, Martha. He's a celebrity doctor. He's been on so many shows. He happens to live 30 minutes north of me. He's in Southern California, but he's extremely well known, and he created something called the DSWI. I think he's got probably over 4,000 coaches worldwide now, and I'm one of his coaches. So just to let you know, that's where I'm getting all my training. When it says Master Certified Health Coach DSWI, that stands for Dr. Sears Wellness Institute. It's based in Colorado, but that sweet man lives over by me. Master Certified Health Coach is really a behavior coach. It really should be called behavior coach because when you're coaching people, it's always about behavior and knowing the stage that they're at. And then Robbie always loves this when I say this, but I'm also a rooted in wellness educator. And a little over a year ago, I met a gal at GSFE in San Diego, and she ended up hiring me as one of her instructors. So it's so funny how these connections come through GSFE. And actually, my last account came through GSFE. So, Robbie, thank you because I networked a lot, and this is by far the best. I can't believe how many wonderful connections and clients I've got from this. So, thank you, Robbie. A rooted in wellness educator. I'm finding out now, but I'm going to be going out to, I think, doctors and nurses and training nurses and the staff of some medical facilities. I don't know yet, but I'm going to be a facilitator trainer. It all just comes down to education on prevention of disease or whatever the curriculum they want me to talk about. All right, here's my beautiful daughter who just turned 19 2 weeks ago, and she is the reason. And let me tell you, when her name is Daniela, she won't walk in the door for a while. But when my daughter was 3, she was diagnosed with something called Asperger's, which is high functioning autism. Probably some of you may know about it, may not know about it. She was very, very sensitive to noise, and she had many, many food aversions. She screamed at anything green, green peas, green salad, anything. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this kid. So I became certified through Dr. Sears because he's a pediatrician. And I knew if anybody can help me, it would be him and his institute, I should say. So through going through all the training and the master coaching, I was able to get her to eat the rainbow foods. What I mean by that is the colorful vegetables, blackberries, anything that God made, right? Red bell peppers, yellow bell peppers, squash, avocado. You guys get the hang of it. I taught her traffic light eating, the green foods, the grow foods, the yellow foods, the slow down foods, and the red foods, probably not unless it's your birthday or 4th of July, right? But I taught her this at age 6. She now eats the rainbow foods, and I have to tell you, she loves kale. which makes me cry because kale is a very hard food to eat, and kale is a very hard food to eat, and she absolutely loves it. So kale, quinoa, and avocado salad is her favorite. And that's what she told the pediatrician a couple years ago. It was really nice to get a nice, good job, mom, on that one. So I'm telling you, this stuff works. By the way, she started to thrive when she ate the foods that God made, the grow foods, right? Not that man made the processed food. No pills at all. And dancing is her jam. So this is her. She graduated 4 months ago from high school. Now she's college bound. So I want to tell you, food has a lot to do with this. It is medicine, and it can really, really help any situation. Okay, let me take a deep breath. Did you know, I can't see the whole screen, so I'm really hoping you can. Did you know that 92% of the world has at least one vitamin mineral deficiency? And we call that NDD. It's true. I bet most of you on here have one deficiency, and I'm going to go into this. Tell us in the chat if you can. I don't know if you can. If you had all the optimal health in the world, what is the one thing you'd love to do? Angeline, can they post in the
Oh
chat?
yeah, no, yeah, you can.
Oh, okay. I
Everybody
can't
should be
see
able
it.
to
So
post in the chat. I'm not sure if you're calling from the phone because I'm not sure because with
I'm on
my
the,
phone, different phone, but if you're in the computer, you can put in the chat.
put in the chat, and then somebody has to read it to me because I can't see it, you guys. But maybe just read me one or two, and then I'll move on.
Okay, I'm waiting here. You want like what are you
What's the
asking?
one thing you'd love to do if you felt 100%? What's the one thing you'd love to do? Would you go to, hike Peru, or I don't know.
Okay, Jill said here, hike Mount Everest and
Okay, that's
also
what I'm
in
looking for.
Patagonia. Wow. Okay.
Wow. So Jill, you want to go
And
to Patagonia and hike Mount Everest? Is that what she said?
That is what I said.
yes.
Okay,
Wow.
great. Oh, there's the
Wow,
chat
that
button.
is
Maybe I can.
ambitious. You know,
Oh,
Mount Everest is very challenging, one of the most challenging mountain to climb.
okay, I can see it. You guys, I figured it out. Sora said hike Mount Everest. Nancy Ann said travel, do the Camino walk in Spain. Actually, Nancy Ann, I know somebody that just did that. Evelyn said would love to travel everywhere. Okay, I figured it out. I figured out the chat button. All right, good to go. So traveling and hiking is okay. Hang on, guys. I gotta hit the next button. Oops, what happened to it? Hang on, guys. I'm trying to get to the next slide. Okay, let me make sure. Oh, I see. Hang on, guys. All right, I just missed my button. All right, here's today's agenda. There's 3 mistakes that we make that may lead to NDD. But what I want to talk about is how to have more energy, how to practice the pills and skills mindset, and how to make healthier choices. Today, we're going to cover, I want you to avoid the foolish 3. We'll talk about movement and healthier substitutions. Here we go again in the chat. Sorry about this. Tell us in the chat, which is the most pressing issue for you right now? Is it fatigue? Is it stress, which is most people? Lack of focus, weight gain, something else? Whoever wants to share. I love to engage people. Can you tell? Okay, somebody just said something. Evelyn said weight gain.
The story of the girl who climbed Mount Everest that lives in Orange County.
Here's what I found.
Jill
Okay,
said
and
fatigue. Maybe Jill's working too hard. How about one more? Evelyn said weight gain, fatigue. Anybody? All right. Holly Porter said focus. All right. Thank you for saying. This is what I see a lot of: fatigue, stress. I think we're stressed because we're women and we do a lot, honestly. So, all righty. Sorry guys, I backed up. I'm losing my little thing at the bottom. I'm going to talk about avoiding the foolish 3. If you were to avoid the foolish 3, I want you to know you're about 90% pure. Number 1 is high fructose corn syrup. And I'm going to give you some examples on this in a minute. Okay. That's a cheap corn sweetener that is thrown in a lot of the processed foods that can lead to obesity and then heart disease. And it's a snowball effect, right? Number 2 is anything with the number like Red Lake number 40 or all those numbers. They're artificial flavors and they're really bad, especially for kids. can really mess up the brain, but it's inflammatory and it leads to a lot of bad things, obesity being one of them. And the third one is hydrogenated oil. And that's basically a man-made fat that is in a lot of our potato chips, or if you're eating a birthday cake, I guarantee if you flip it over and you bought it in a bakery, you're going to see hydrogenated oil. I want you to know there's healthier substitutions. And here's one that I see a lot of. You don't have to raise your hand or whatnot, but a lot of people have Skippy in their in their pantry. So mistake number one, I just talked about the bad words, but now I want to give you an example of what kind of foods it's in that most of you are probably very familiar with. These additives are very harmful to your health. Nancy Ann is smiling, so I don't know if she's got that in her. But roasted peanuts is, let me move you guys. Roasted peanuts is number one. Okay, that's good. But in the red, you're going to see hydrogenated oil, vegetable oil, cottonseed oil, soybean, rapeseed oil. That's really, really bad. My sister was actually in the hospital when she ate that in cottonseed oil. It's an omega-6. It's a processed inflammatory, very, very harmful ingredient. I promise you, you don't want to put that in your body, okay? Because maybe if you have a little bit now, a little bit, but believe me, down the road, you don't want it in your body, okay? They put it in there to stabilize the shelf life on this product, and because they're always about putting their profits in front of our health. So we really have to become label reading detectives, okay? Now, I'm sure you're all familiar with Costco. I love this brand because you can get it at Costco in a 2-pack. It's actually a lot cheaper. And if you look at the ingredients on the side, it's only 2 ingredients: dry roasted peanuts and sea salt. That is what you want. Less is best. The less ingredients is best, and words that you can pronounce is best. I hope I'm explaining this okay. Here we go in the chat, you guys. Sorry about this. Tell us in the chat, what does it matter if you have more energy, less sugar, better moods? Like, what would change in your life if you felt like you had energy to climb Mount Everest, less sugar, better mood, better focus? Tell me what would change in your life, and I'm going to take a drink of water really quick. Oh, skip Skippy, Jill. That's right. You want to skip Skippy. Good job. That's cute. Anybody? What would change in your life if you had all the energy, less sugar, better moods? I do eat this way. Oh, good. Who said that? All right. Sora. Good job, Sora. Wow, you're ahead of the game. Okay. Holly said she'd be more productive. Maybe you get more work done, or I don't know what productive means. Getting up at 5 a.m. and running. I don't know. Cleaning the house when you're so dang tired, you don't want to do it anymore. All righty. Sorry, it keeps bumping me over here. Hang on. I'm getting used to this format. Skip Skippy. I like when Jill said that. All right, here we go. Here's mistake number 2. The pills and skills mindset. Now, you guys, I know when I go to the doctor, they're so quick to give you a pill, and then you need another pill for this, another pill for that. And now we're on the drug train. And you know, with all of that, there's side effects. Okay, I know pills have their place, don't get me wrong. But the way that Dr. Sears trained us and talks to his patients, if little Johnny can't focus or whatever, before he puts him on a drug to help him focus, he talks to the parents about upping their skills. And this page, I just screenshot this from the NDD book. So he says, how about we have more skills? Up with the skills. You guys can see that arrow. And he's kicking a soccer ball. In other words, get little Johnny out to play. But that also applies to adults. Go for a walk, eat fish, eat the rainbow foods, broccoli, and then down with the pills. So how about if we increase our increase our skills, down with the pills? And then he says, you know, after 3 weeks, if little Johnny still can't focus in school, or he's really hyper or whatever, then he'll add it. But he says he notices a big difference when they're eating better, less sugar, more movement. You know, you get the drift, right? I love this exercise, you know, yoga, do whatever it is to help you. And I love this pharmacist. I know this picture isn't great, but can you imagine if you went to a pharmacist and they were to hand you a pair of $150 Nike shoes and a pedometer, or what do you call those watches? iPhone watches, and say, go walk 10,000 steps a day because that's 4.5 miles. We're trying to get the doctors into the mindset of what can I do, not what can I take? Because see, that's how they're trained. We all know they diagnose and say adios, right? So we want them to say, hey, what can I do? You know, go do whatever it is that you want to do. But we really want to shift that mindset over to skills. I love this picture. I'm like, here's a pair of shoes, you know. Movement outside creates movement inside. The solution is to increase movement. Now, Angelina, I'm going to talk a little bit about your sister because you shared at the beginning, and this is exactly what I do. If some of you logged on late, Angeline said she's going to Japan, I think next April, and her sister's bucket list is to go to Japan.
Yeah.
And so what she started doing, what her sister started doing is walking 3 times a day. Angeline, correct me if I'm wrong, is
Yes.
walking 3 times a day. So that's
Yes.
exactly what I do. Angeline's sister found the motivation because her motivation was to go and have more memories with her beautiful sister and go visit Japan. And yes, you're right. Japan, you were kind of forced to walk. So that's what we call intrinsic motivation, Angeline. And that is exactly what I coach people on. That's the behavior coach in me. She found what motivated her. It was going to Japan. So I'm relaying that to movement because increased movement of the body does increase the blood flow to the brain. It also mellows the mind. Now, how many of you, you know, when you're stressed, like when I'm stressed, I just try to walk it off because it does mellow the mind. But they know that increased blood flow to the brain, it increases those happy hormones, such as nature's own antidepressants and anti-anxiety medicines. So move. So here we go. Tell me in the chat, what kind of movement do you think is best for optimizing good health? And I'm going to take a drink of water again and look in the chat. Oh, Jackie, I'm glad you loved that slide. I'm not sure what slide that was, but you are so right, Sora. Down with the pill mindset. Do your research. Good job, Sora. Holly, I'm not sure what a vibration plate is, but I'm glad you have it. I think I know what it is. Dancing is my jam too, Evelyn. Good job. Susie, any kind of movement you like. That's right. The best movement is the one you'll do. They don't care. They just want you to move. Walking an inside bike. Nancy Ann, you're very similar to me. Yep. Jackie, the best movement. You're right, Jackie. Angeline, walking, dancing, and Pilates. Yeah, Angeline, I remember you said you did Pilates. Pilates is so good for strength. That's one thing that Dr. Sears talks about is flexibility. So I think she's the only one that said Pilates. But boy, if you can do Pilates, I would highly recommend it. It's really great. They say that keeps you out of the doctor's office when you're flexible. Dancing and walking, good. That's fun, right? Love dance fitness. I love Pilates, walking. Okay. Thanks, ladies. Now, how do I close this chat? There we go. All right, my little slide, come back. Oh, here it is. Here's my old horse. Oh my God, I love my horse. But doctors are now prescribing nature. And here's a fun fact for you. 20 minutes in nature, whether it's walking on the beach, which I'm going to do tonight, or walking in the forest or the woods, wherever you live, or around a lake, 20 minutes in nature can improve your concentration, your cognitive function, and your memory. And I've noticed when I go to the beach, you know, when you have a child on the spectrum, they do have a hard time with emotional regulation and temper tantrums. When I'm down at the beach, like I was last night, I can't tell you how many people were in the ocean at 6 o'clock last night because the water's so warm. I don't see people tantruming or kids tantruming down there because they're grounding and they're out there in nature. So it's, I mean, I know not all of you live by the beach, but it's really such a great way, whether you're going to walk in dirt or whatever, but do whatever you can because doctors are now prescribing nature, right? Because we're too behind the computers and scrolling through social media. Oh, here's one of my clients. It's a little hard for me to see, but Nancy coached me with food choices without giving up chocolate. This is my gal, Shelly Chocolate. She loves chocolate so much, but I coached her and I never told her to get up chocolate, but doctors told her she was borderline diabetic and they were ready to put her on the glucose monitor. So when I worked with her, we just made small manageable changes. Of course, I'm the label reading guru and I'm the sugar busting fairy. So we kind of talked about healthier substitutions. I revamped her pantry and then it's always about setting goals. So then she said, thank you, Nancy, for your knowledge and most importantly, support. And she liked me because she can still keep the chocolate, right? She just had to go to dark chocolate. That's Shelly. All right. Speaking of sugar, the reason I talk about sugar is because a lot of us are addicted to sugar, including me. And I had candida overgrowth, which led to leaky gut, food sensitivities. I mean, I finally healed my gut, but it's taken a good 6 years. Okay. Sugary foods and drinks are empty calories. because they're low in essential nutrients, vitamins and minerals, and fiber. Okay, big problem with fiber. But when you consume too much of it, it can lead to weight gain without providing the necessary nutrients your body needs. So I put this up here because when you eat too much sugar, there's a very good chance you're going to be deficient in something, and it might be magnesium, right? And I know sugar is very addicting, and that's one thing that I always say I help women over 50 kick the sugar habit so they can rediscover their confidence and fit back into their old pair of jeans, right? Because when I lost the sugar, I'm going to show you in a minute, I lost 32 pounds and there I am. So I was 160. This is during COVID, by the way. And the horse I rode really appreciated it because I was down 32 pounds. Very little to no sugar. And it was just cold turkey, you guys. And believe me, if I can do it, anybody can do it. But I was eating the foods that God made, not man made. And I had to let go of liquid sugar because ice cream was, Ben and Jerry was my best friend. And I had to get rid of it, which was really hard. But I promise you, you can do it. So it's just a matter of finding something else. All righty. Are we doing okay on time, Angeline? Because I'm probably almost done. Okay.
Yes.
We're good.
We're good. Okay. Mistake number 2 is we eat the SAD diet. I'm sure most of you know this is the standard American diet, and this is not your fault. This is what those food industries are throwing at us, right? And is characterized by a high intake of refined foods, refined sugar, processed foods, very unhealthy fats, low consumption of fruits and vegetables, and whole grains. This picture was shot out of the NDD book by Dr. Sears. When you eat the real food diet, you're going to have balance, right? He's a big fish guy, but if any of you guys want fish, I'll kind of give you a resource for that because you have to be careful with fish. But anyways, when you eat the real food diet, you have a good balance. But when you eat foods that are highly processed and they have safflower or cottonseed or corn oil, we really want you to be careful because you're eating the SAD diet. And you may not, know it because you feel fine, but believe me, it's inflammation in your body. And as you age and they start doing those, cholesterol, your lipid panel, those numbers won't lie. Okay. So I always tell people, I go, when you have a cold, you can feel it. When you have a cut, you can feel it. But you can't feel this inflammation unless, you get to be older and the doctors are like, hey, you got to cut back on something. All right. So we want you to really be careful of the SAD diet. So you all know this. We want you to eat the food that God made, the grow foods, right? When you eat the grow foods, and my daughter has autism, right? It can prevent the D's. And what I mean by the D's is autism spectrum disorder, that's ASD, OCD, ADHD. I can't tell you how many people I know have ADHD, etc. And this is going to fill you up without being fattening. So the sardines, the tomatoes, the cabbage, the broccoli, this is the rainbow foods, right? But it's going to satisfy your hunger more. And it's going to balance your blood sugar. And that's a big one with me because 1 out of 2 of us is pre-diabetic right now. And we don't know. Most of us don't know it unless you go to the doctor. So we really want you to balance out your blood sugar. The fake foods is the birthday foods. Of course you can eat this on the holidays or maybe the holiday party, December 4th or December 5th. I can even let you eat this on, what's that other date coming up? The Marietta Hot Springs, the Cinderella date. You can eat that, okay? But that's a holiday. So the fake foods cause the D's, you guys. And this is really hard, especially if you have a little one. It's really hard to get them off because it is so addicting. And it's also fattening without being filling, and it satisfies the hunger less. And it throws your blood sugar completely out of balance, and it makes you sick. And as a fun fact, I will tell you the day after Thanksgiving is the busiest day for a pediatrician because the sugar suppresses the immune system. That's a fun fact. Okay. When I'm out there presenting and educating and whatnot, I always pass around a sheet of an artery, okay? Your clean arteries are going to look clean. And if I were to put my hand through it, it would be like a slip and slide. Or if I were to touch a fish and it's really smooth, that's a clean artery. That artery is going to be clean if you eat the growth foods from the beginning. I mean, if you eat them in your 50s, great. But we really want you to start out eating them when you're young. And as you get to be my age, I'm almost 60, and you're eating the bad processed foods. See this yellow sticky stuff? We call that plaque. So the one up front, the clean artery, your blood is going to move real smoothly. But the lower one, your blood is not going to run smoothly. It's going to be sticky. And we really worry about the sticky stuff and the plaque buildup because your blood flows more slowly. And if you all know what can happen, so you want to be real careful. I just went to that Lifeline scan thing where they scan my aorta and all of that. And thank God it was clear, but it's so important to really make sure you're healthy. And, heart disease is the silent killer among women. I'm sorry to be the bad news, but it's true. So this all comes from food. I'm trying to tell you, eat the food that God made, not man made. Go fish. Okay. Omega-3s are to the brain what calcium is to the bone. Seafood is called, I'm going to see if I can move this slide down. No, I can't. Can I move it down? No, I can't. Seafood is called the head to toe nutrient. And studies have found that families who eat more fish have a lower incidence of the D's, such as if you look below the fish, the ADD, the ADHD, the allergic diseases, the asthma, the dermatitis, bipolar disorder, cardiovascular disease, depression. That's a big one, actually, guys. I hear a lot about that. Depression, diabetes, eye diseases. It improves visual acuity. They say eat the seafood, you guys, so you can see through your eyes. Now, if you're like me, I can't stand the smell of fish. I can literally, pardon me, but I can vomit if I go to a seafood place. That's how bad I don't like it. But I do take a oil supplement that doesn't cause fish burps, and it's great. Okay, it's also great for arthritis and joint disease. I will tell you a lot of the fish is polluted with mercury, so please buy the short-lived fish. And vitalchoice.net, they send it to you flash frozen. So if you guys have questions, just message me later because I want you to get the good kind of fish, all right? All right. Mistake number 3 is the eye-grabbing cliche. See, when you're out shopping, we know that we shop quickly. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm in a big hurry. I'm just, running through those apples at Sprouts, right? I want you to be careful because those food companies are really trying to trick us. And they will throw words such as fit and light, which can mean light on nutrition and unfit for human consumption. Now, remember, right out of the book. The food is sold in the center aisles of the supermarket. I call that the red aisle, the dead aisle. The processed food is the dead food. And I hate to tell you this, but I want you to be dead. Okay. So we want you to eat the parameters. We want you to eat the parameters. Okay. The food that doesn't have a label, those cheap little bags that always rip when you're pulling out the carrot or avocado. That's what I get so frustrated. I'm like, this dang bag, but that's what you want. No labels, no labels. All right. But these darn companies, such as General Mills and Kellogg's, if some of you are grandparents or parents of little ones, you know what I'm talking about. The cartoon or the movie characters hype the product. And we always say, what does Darth Vader know about nutrition, right? It's just profit, profit, profit. Now, if any of you ate Dannon, Light and Fit recently, I'm sorry. So here's an example of Light and Fit, right? Okay, that's not Light and Fit. And now this would look very appealing to me because I'm like, oh, it's a pretty package. Purple is my favorite color. I love strawberries, 80 calories, 12 grams of protein. Fantastic. But I'm going to tell you the front of it is the lie. The back of it, look over here, cultured non-fat milk, strawberries. That's what's going to tell you the truth. And if sugar or salt is the first 3 ingredients, I just want you to know you're mainly eating sugar and salt. Now, after strawberries, it says less than something natural and artificial flavors. They put natural and artificial flavors. We think that's sugar because the FDA doesn't require them to put that. That's called a label loophole, we call that. So be careful is what I'm trying to tell you. Why not go to a healthier, why not go to a healthier substitution such as Nancy? That's my name, okay? Look at this product, Nancy Ann. It only has pasteurized organic milk, and I can't read the rest of this, but it only has 2 ingredients plus probiotics. That's the kind of yogurt you want. Less ingredients, words you can't pronounce, and throw your own darn strawberries or blueberries on top of it, or granola, okay? So I'm trying to do healthier substitutions. Here's another one, you guys. Log cabin. When I talk about avoiding the foolish 3, that's the very first thing I said. No high fructose corn syrup. Okay, so see, that's a lie. Okay, that's a lie. Great packaging. But when you flip the back of it, this is what it's going to say, corn syrup. So it's saying no high fructose corn syrup, but it's a lie. Corn syrup is another name of sugar, water, and sugar. So you're basically drinking sugar is what I'm trying to tell you. And then these words, sodium hexameta, blah, blah, blah. I can't pronounce that. Don't put that in your body. Sodium benzoate is a preservative. Don't put that in your body. So words you can't pronounce. That's why we're really careful about words you can't pronounce, okay? Why not go to Costco and get maple syrup? Maple syrup comes from a tree that God made. That's why we say eat the food that God made, maple syrup, all right? So that's what we want you to eat. I'm kind of skimming along because I don't know how much time I have. What 2 organs are most affected by nutrition? Go ahead and put it in the chat. Take a guess, you guys. Let me look in the chat. The liver and the brain. Okay. Oh, good, Joan. That's your maple syrup. All right. Liver in the brain, liver in the kidney. Nobody got it. Nobody got it, but a lot of you got half of it. All right. This stumps everybody. You guys ready? Oops, let me get my little page here. It's the brain and the eyes. So a lot of you did say the brain, that's right. But guess what? Your eyes are the doorway to your brain. So it's the brain and the eyes. They are most affected by nutrition, and they love leafy greens. Okay. Stress can lead to magnesium deficiency, and I have a great story on this. We live in a world that demands a lot from us, right? We're all women. My God, how are we not stressed, right? And when unregulated, stress may promote unhealthy habits such as scrolling through social media too much, which I'm guilty of. I have to get off that darn Instagram at 8 o'clock at night, or the next thing you know, it's 9 o'clock at night. Drinking, I don't drink, but I know a lot of people do, and magnesium deficiency. And that is exactly what happened to me. There is a simple solution: magnesium supplements, dog walking, dancing. Okay, here's my favorite little doodle in the whole world. She's my chocolate doodle, and she loves to hula dance. Okay, so get out and walk your dog, you guys. But when I talk about NDD, I will tell you, well, you'll know in a minute, I'm going too fast. I think it's like 88% of us, don't quote me on this, but 80 something percent are magnesium deficient. If you suspect you are, I highly recommend this book. It is so good. And I had a lot of symptoms. I actually ended up in urgent care because I had heart palpitations. I was magnesium deficient and potassium deficient because my dietitian put me on it. That's a whole nother story. Or if you're stressed or have you have insomnia like I do, take a little magnesium, make sure you get the right one, because if not, you could run to the bathroom, but you can always talk to me later because I have some really good recommendations. But it is great for stress, because when you're stressed, it can lead, most likely it is going to lead to a deficiency, okay? And also high blood sugar. It's a sleep aid. I take it every night, and it can improve your mood and memory. So I was just trying to give you a resource, okay? Now I'm almost done here, you guys, but I got called out through GSFE, Robbie, you'll love this. I met a gal in Riverside at the GSFE meeting, and she hired me to do a 6-day workshop for Divine Path. It's for neurodivergent adults. And they said, come and teach a group. And I love the special needs community because that's my world. I mean, I know that world very, very well. So these are my students, and they're adults. And I got them to guess the sugar, guess the fat. I really want to get them engaged. So it said, I really enjoyed guessing the sugar and the fats. I passed around the Crisco, you guys, and I had them scoop out tablespoons of fat. And they had no idea that one hamburger is 5 teaspoons of fat. So what I'm trying to do is shock the heck out of them so they can eat good foods, or not going to McDonald's all the time, maybe every now and then. All right. So my niche is really women over 50, but because I know the special needs world very, very well, and I help my daughter so much. If any of you know of anybody, boy, I would love a referral for that, because I love this group. So, and it was really fun. I'm actually going back there to do another workshop. So, all right. Mistake number 3, we drink our sugar. And they say if you were to get off sugar, see, sugar leads to deficiency, okay, because it's empty calories. We have a problem.
Nancy,
So,
are you meaning to show your slides? Because we're not seeing them.
oh, you can't see that slide?
No.
I see him. I see him.
I can see it.
I see him.
Okay. I'm wrong. I don't see it, but that's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, mistake number 3. Adults are 75% and children are 40% overweight. That's true. And sugar is the biggest culprit. And I tell people, guys, it's not your fault. It's hidden and you just don't know about it. That's all. And if you were to walk into Dr. Sears' practice, what he likes to do is shock the heck out of his patients. He calls it diabetes in a bottle. And then some people, when I coach, go, well, what about diet soda? I'm like, no, that's just as bad. They throw in aspartame, which is very addicting. So no soda, no diet soda. There's a healthier way. And if you need help with that, just talk to me later. I'll help you with that. Oops, I'm almost done. 2 slides. Oops, what happened to my slide? Oh, here it is. So one of the things that I do, and Angeline's sister kind of reminded me because she talked about the 3-day walking 3 times a week. I do a lot of one-on-one coaching, and they get weekly support and check-ins. I do pantry makeovers. I've done this virtually for other groups. Smart shopping trips. I can do anything virtually. And I will tell you guys, when I coach people, I can't tell you how many people say, oh, my husband has gout and my daughter is soy-free and my brother is nut-free, or, my son is nut-free, or we're gluten intolerant. I actually have the ability to send recipe collections. So based on your dietary needs and how much time you have in the kitchen and prep time, I can actually send you something. It's so good. It's through a resource that I have. So what I'm trying to tell you, because this is the biggest thing I get is, oh, I want to go to Indian food now, or, I'm going dairy free or whatever it is. I can send that personalized meal plan. It's based on the dietary needs. So dairy free, gluten free, nut free, workshops, etc. Because that's one of the big things I hear. And I also do, and you're going to see it, group coaching and group walks, because, when we get together, we do release oxytocin, which is a feel-good hormone. And then our forum is open 24/7. So I say yes in the chat. If you want more energy, better sleep, good gut feelings, you want to eat healthier. And there's a link in the chat that Angeline will put in there in just a minute. And then I guess if I have time for questions, I will. So, the link in the chat, just so you know what it is, it's a free assessment. It's just assessment with me, you fill it out, and then you talk to me, and that's my freebie. So thank you for your time. I hope you heard me okay, and I'm sorry if you didn't see all my slides.
Yeah, I can only post copy it when you stop sharing, so I can't do that.
Oh, okay. All right, let me give it a few more minutes. Anybody want to say yes in the chat? And then it looks like I have 5 more minutes anyway, so I'll give it a few minutes. I make my own mag oil, good, and spray it on my body. One less pill, good job. I figured it. Oh, Lisa figured it out. Okay, okay, Lisa, that's great. I'm just kind of going 400 milligram is the requirement every day. You know what, Evelyn? I don't know. You'd have to talk to your doctor, but I would tell you that does seem right. I don't know. I can't really tell you that. I would say get the book. But if you're doing it and it works for you and you're not running to the bathroom, I'd say go for it. I know, Holly, aspartame is really, really bad. It's a chemical and it's very addictive. It's terrible. That's what's in diet soda, you guys. Anybody else say something? Yes, yes. Oh, Jill says yes. Holly says yes. See y'all next time. I've got it. Okay, bye, Jill. Thank you for coming. Nancy, do you use the app Yuka where you can scan barcodes? I have in the past, and I've heard about it. I have heard about it. I don't use it because I know it so well, but I would recommend it. I have played around with it a little bit. In fact, Joan, that's a good idea. I should go back and I have it on my phone. So thank you. You just jogged my memory. I should go back and do it again. Okay, they food, how do they rate? I'm really a less is best kind of gal. So but I've heard good things about it. So if you're doing that, I applaud you. Okay, I love questions. I'm going to take a drink of water.
Yeah, and Nancy, can you just
sharing?
Can you stop sharing? Yeah, so then I can post it. Yes, okay.
Oh, I didn't realize I can see the chat this way. Okay. I saw Nancy Ann smile or laugh. I know she's a comedian, so I was like,
okay, and I will stop the recording.
I